All right, everybody, this is our third and final strategy that we use with our triple arrow system. And it's very simple. It's not complicated at all. It's very easy to spot. And when these show up, we enter them confidently and just wait. Okay, it requires a little bit of patience, but these work very, very well, very effective. So as you can see here, we have the Swiss JPY, okay? And this one, sometimes the price won't move so smoothly up, but sometimes it will. But either way it goes, our entry is the biggest point. So some people like to enter only on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, okay? And we'll look at that. Sometimes I'll drop down to the 30-minute to try to get in as early as possible with a confirmation on the 1 hour and 4 hour charts. Again, the concept is still the same like the now later strategy. You want 1 to 2 time frames higher to show some indication that price is actually reversing in the direction that you see on the current time frame you're on. So on this particular trade here on the Swiss JPY, as you can see here, triple arrows that came in, our moving average turned green, our candles turned green, our support bars or support dots said yes, it's a go. We also had price bouncing off of our lower trend lines. We also had the volume bars above the white line or the zero line, whatever color you want to choose. Even if you don't have the lines at all, this line at all, you'll see that it's either going to be creating a belly low or a mountain high. Okay, mountain low, mountain high. So as you can see here, or if you have the other one, they're all doing the same thing. It may show red or green. Okay, it doesn't matter. The point is that the volume bars are showing upward momentum. And then we also have a confirmation here that the green line has crossed above the red. Above the red. Remember, when it's below the red, with all of these setups, it's a sell. Typically, you'll see triple arrows to the downside, and this green line will be below the red. And we only pay attention to this for entry. After we've entered the trade, we don't have to worry about it because, as you can see, it'll fluctuate up and down. So we're only concerned about this when we're looking for the entry point. So we have our triple arrows, we have our dots, our support, we have our volume bars above, we have the green line crossing above. And so we looked for entry on the trade. The second step is always check news. You want to wait at least 30 minutes minimum for after whatever time session you're entering. So if this would have been the agent session, you want to wait at least 30 to 45 minutes minimum to make sure that all news events that was going to come out for that day were done. And you can also advise you, and I strongly advise you also check for the week. There's these mobile apps, as I mentioned prior, that you can download and you can actually check news events for the entire week. One of them is FOREX Factory. The other one is My FX Book, or you can also check FX Hours. Okay, FX Hours. And you want to use FX Hours anyway, so you can see what time the market's open. Very unique app, very lovely app. But all of them, what you want to do is go to your calendar. And again, you want to check for news events, and not just for the day, but also for the week. For an example, this week coming up, we've seen some good concepts, some good setups on the AUD pairs. Problem is they're moving very sporadic. Why? Because their election is coming up towards the end of the week. And so therefore, even though we saw the setup, it's not a good time to enter it because it's not acting correctly. It's misbehaving because of its anticipation or uncertainty of the outcome of the election towards the end of the week. So it's better to just stay away. So that's the reason why we check news before we enter any trade. Okay. So anyway, one of the things you want to look for when it comes to news is like interest rates news, elections, for U.S. pairs, the non-farm payroll, and there's just a few others. But basically, those are the ones I look for. Interest rates, elections, non-farm payroll, and a couple others, but we can cover that another time in class, okay? But for the concept is simple. Triple arrows, green line, green, green, above, green is above. Okay, we're good. So now we check the next time frame. So if we're on the M30, we go to where? H1, which is every candle represents an hour, and we had a confirmation right here. And some people wait until the 1 hour has the triple arrow setup. Same exact setup, nothing changes. Everything is exactly the same here. And there we are. So we had confirmation, and then you would check how many time frames? 1 to 2. Now we do have 1, but let's just see what happens on the second one. Now on the second one, oftentimes you will not have all complete setup. You may have 1 or 2 or 3 of the confirmations. Typically, I would like to look for at least 2 to 3 of the confirmations on the higher time frames. Okay, so we did have the crossing. We have the same exact setup. This probably had at the time of entry on the shorter time frame, the 30-minute, probably had the big arrow and maybe the dots came in. So it didn't have the full, but as you can see, it played out perfectly according to our concept of how we like to trade when we're doing our normal swing pattern. And there it was. And that position, it swung up for how many pips? Let's see if you would have got in right about there to right about here. That was 99 pips on that particular move. Not a bad payday. Not a bad payday at all. So that's our third concept. Really, really simple. It's similar to the annihilator strategy, but it's done on a higher time frame. And so therefore you can do that. And there we are. Okay. So that's our swing position. Look for the 30 or the 1 hour with 1 to 2 time frames above. You also want to check for news just to make absolutely sure the coast is clear. All right. And that's that.